All right, good evening, everybody. How are you doing tonight? Good. Have you had enough to drink? Okay, yeah. Well, drink more. It's going to be a lot better for you if you drink some more. It's going to make this night a lot more enjoyable. So remember the bars back there. And remember, if you guys have your seats, the roast is about... All right, good evening, everybody. How are you doing tonight? Good. Have you had enough to drink? Okay, yeah. Well, drink more. It's going to be a lot better for you if you drink some more. It's going to make this night a lot more enjoyable. So remember the bars back there. And remember, if you guys have your seats, the roast is about to begin. Now, you got to remember, these guys and me, we are not comedians, and only two of us are dicks, naturally. And Mark is one of those, so he will give you enough. Hello. But the meaner we are charged to be mean. We need you to enjoy it. So please understand it's all in good fun. So here's the deal. I would like now to welcome our wonderful panelist of roasters, the Inglorious Bastards. Hit it. Look at that. You see this? Where is Ian? He's late. Come on. Come on up. Come on up. These guys are very prepared. They're just as professional in their business. We got enough for JP? Here, sit here. Yeah, well, you just sit here. Yeah, I don't have a seat. I'll just stand. You're good. JP's gonna break it.
I want to get real close.
Don't get too close.
Really close, this guy.
All right. Okay. All right, now help me welcome the man we are here to honor and potentially get disbarred, Mr. Matthew Carl Aycock, Esquire. This is going to be all night. This is a bad decision. Okay, before we begin, where's Michelle Trickle? Where's Michelle? Is she still here? She already passed out. Give a big round of applause. She put this on. She's sick. She's still here. She's working it. Thank you so much. Does everyone have do we have champagne at the tables yet? Okay. So everyone, raise your glasses except for you jokers on stage. We are all here tonight to celebrate the birthday boy who's 40, about to be 40, going on 5. And we promise no yo mama jokes, because one, we're not cool enough to do that, and two, his mom's actually here. Hello, Mrs. Aycock. Hey.
So sorry.
Again, why is he by the mic? So his Aunt Jan is also here, and I found out from you last night that she actually is a fan of Tuttle Talk. So Aunt Jan, hello, thank you. So you're the one. Thank you, everyone. You've got to watch out for the fan. You got to take care of the fan. We got the one. Right here. So now a toast for the host is going to be getting on the receiving end of this roast to Matt. Cheers, buddy. Here we go. Cheers. Hey. You got an hour of this killer. It really is an honor to be hosting this tonight, since Matt was too cheap to hire a real MC. So, actually, he kind of dropped a small fortune on this party tonight, and so the only way he agreed to do this was if all of you refer him a deal. So, there are some tables at the back, and when you give to the charity, if you just write the name of your referral on there before you leave, a pioneer, an innovator. And so I say,
My birthday was a couple weeks ago.
Happy early birthday, Mark Cuban. Thank you very much. You know, JP, you sitting here, I'm really getting more excited about these jokes I'm telling him. I'm gonna bust his balls. I'm gonna have to call. It's okay. But I guess we'll give some credit to this guy as well. And I would also like to, support and mention the charity we are here to support tonight, Children's Health. And so we'll be hitting you up for money later. Don't worry about that. But first, it is incumbent upon me to introduce all of these freaking jamokes on this dais who will be giving our birthday boy a piece of their mind. So we'll begin with the only person on this dais that is worth looking at for more than 5 seconds. It's not you, JP. Whitney Bouquois. Now, yeah, hello. Bouquois. Did I say that right? I did. So nice, so pretty. So she's had the misfortune of working with Matt for many years until she finally scratched and clawed her way to freedom, like Shawshank Redemption style. Seriously, Morgan Freeman should have been narrating her escape. I wish I could tell you that Whitney withheld his ridiculous requests and questionable hiring practices. I wish I could say that, but Pratt Aycock is no fairy tale world. That's what I would say. But then we have the Good Brothers, Nick and Austin. These guys, they are the absolutely top producing realtors in the Good family. Austin, just stop being so much better looking, more successful than your older brother. He's sensitive. And Nick, I got a good bottle of bourbon. You can wind your sorrows away. But these guys, do you know they just started a mortgage business too? Yeah, you were way late on that, Ayaz. Like as late as you were here today, like 2 hours. So, wait your turn, killer. Wait your turn. So these guys got in the mortgage business because even though, Nick envies Austin, they both envy mortgage lenders for some reason, and all that insecurity will be on full display later tonight when they try to be funny. We also have Gabe Abshire, owner of Utility Concierge, and proud member of the Witness Protection Program. Seriously, dude, how do you travel 350 days a year and why? I get it, gotta get some time away from Matt, I understand, but man, you write off more vacations as business than a televangelist. Hey, too real? That's good. But that's what this is. But there's only so much that Danny can write off on your taxes for that, but what you lack in accessibility, you make up for in obnoxious, avoidant behavior. Most of the time I go to Gabe to do something, he's like, ooh, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I'm probably not gonna be good at that, but why don't you do it? This is how he built his business. It's fantastic. And buddy, if you ever have me roast you, your ass is mine. And speaking of people that can't shake Matt, we do have Danny DeLauder. He's the numbers guy in the room. Danny DeLauder. And he works for a great shop, Seville CPAs and Advisors. It was actually recently named one of the top 300 accounting firms in the country, and that is despite having Matt as a client. So that's a big deal. And don't worry, Danny, if you blow it tonight, somebody spills wine on your shirt, Matt will sue him, and you can write it all off as your new clothes. So it's good. I'd also like to introduce Mark Sheeran, who will definitely be the rated R version of the roast tonight. And frankly, I wouldn't actually like to introduce him. I would really rather just press 4 on Matt's outgoing voicemail and prank call him, like I hope you all do. But they made me do this, so here he is. Mark is the owner of Steadfast Funding, which is the most reputable loan shark this side of Tony Soprano. R.I.P. Tony. We love you. They brag. No, they can fund real estate loans quicker than anyone else, and they can fund your loan in as little as 4 days, and they have the most competitive rates in the state, as low as the state maximum will allow. As for this character, they call him J.P. Pipiccinini. And as you can tell by his name, he's the guy in the room most likely to make you an offer you can't refuse or understand. But of course, we all know he's built quite the real estate company himself, and he's built it by putting together the top minds and the top teams in the region that can breathe and chew gum at the same time. But your hiring practice really is... your hiring practice is really rigorous. You sit down with people and it's like, oh, you're alive. Come on. And then we have Eric Kinney, someone who's been unable to shake Mac since the days of AOL dial-up. I would hate to know you back then, man, because whenever I would hear, you've got mail, it would probably be a legal document that would take 5 months to download. It would be awful. Yes, it would. But Eric is really generous, actually. You know, last night we were at the speaker's dinner, and he said, you know what? I hear Whitney's a little nervous, so I will do her roast for her. And all he asked is that you sit on his lap the rest of the night. Now moving on to the man of the hour. I first met Matt at a Three Forks networking event about 5 years ago. And unlike his wife, Susie, he actually had to impress me face to face before I'd give him the time of day. So those of you that don't know, he met Susie playing EverQuest online. So despite his mediocre gaming skills and questionable social skills, she still gave him a chance. But what makes me curious is, like, if you are a wizard in EverQuest and put a spell on someone, does that make it real in real life? Apparently that's what happens. So I figured, what the hell, this guy's not too bad. But like an onion, I did start to peel back your layers, sir. And one by one, I found out more and more about you. In fact, I don't know if you know this, but Matt is an ancient alien theorist. And then I looked at you and I'm like, is it a theory? I mean, how long has your kind been walking among us? This is what I want to know. A tech lawyer? I don't understand it. And for a successful guy, man, like, your office sometimes smells like a Rough Rider hot dog and a Chamberlain cigar had a love child. I don't understand it. I feel like I need a hazmat suit walking in there sometimes. By the way, if you ever go have a cigar with Matt, make sure that you don't expect him to come back after the cigar, because he will ghost your ass. He smokes that cigar, it's like, boy, I had too many drinks, where did Matt go? But despite his questionable office hygiene, he does like to put the appearance on that people love him. In fact, he once took a green screen photo shoot with the lovely Whitney and a few other of his ladies, like he was with the Charlie's Angels. I don't know if you remember this from years ago, but it kind of looked more like a hostage situation in the photo. I could see the cops like, hey man, don't do it. And he's like, okay, fine. But I need a VIP tour of Globe Life Park, and I want a Rangers baseball signed by all of the Rangers, or they have to pose with me again. That's what it's like. But you know, was it last year or 2 years ago you took a 2-week vacation with Christian?
Oh yeah.
It was a couple of years, every year, but there was the one in Alaska in the Yukon, where he was like off the grid for 3 days, no GPS, no cell phone. And besides missing Christian, coincidentally, it was the best 3 days of Susie's married life. And, you know, Matt thought it was a great bonding experience, but since the actual plan was to drop him off and lose him in the wilderness and get the inheritance, it was not a full success for the Aycock family. But maybe Christian will get some better ideas on how to lose someone in the wilderness from this year's Game of Thrones. I don't know. But I guess some part of me is glad that he failed, because now I get to see, for the next hour, this group of misfits bust your balls and say everything that we've been thinking. So without further ado, are you ready for the first roaster? Okay. Oh, I forgot to do this. Look at this. Here's Matt. Let's go through the slideshow. Here's me. Here's my dumbass. Here he is. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big hand for the man who's had the misfortune of knowing Matt the longest. A man who deducts X-lax as moving expenses. A man whose best pickup line is, you have a nice pair of W-2s. A man that solves problems you don't know you have in a way you don't understand. Let's give it up for Matt's dear friend and CPA, Danny DeLauder.
I can't make it down. So get out your seat and jump around.
Oh boy. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Andy, for that introduction. I haven't seen this kind of warmth and graciousness, I think, since my last IRS summons, but that's all right. So, before I start, Matt, given that I've grown up with you and I am not 100% sure what the statute of limitations are, most of my comments are kind of PG rated because I've known Matt quite a long time, and we probably don't need to go there for some of this stuff. But I'd like to say it's great to be here roasting the pride of Queen City, Texas. Yes, good Matt from East Texas. But we already honored that person. It was the assistant manager at the Cass County Equipment Company. We did that last week. But we're stuck with you. That's all right. That's all right. But Matt was a really big deal in our hometown. He was solid. Growing up every Sunday, Matt would show up at church. He would strut in like he owned the place. You know, this is Matt. He's larger than life. We all know Matt. Even the mural of Jesus would kind of look up and say, oh my gosh, not again. You know, they don't pay me enough to do this every week. But, you know, Matt throwing his weight around when he should just kind of sit down and shut up is not something any of us know anything about, right? That's not Matt's personality at all. But he's just, you know, he just had to be known out of that little corner of Northeast Texas where we grew up. That's where his hustling days began back in the early days. I don't know how much guys know about Matt from back then, but his days started, you know, resealing wax baseball packs and selling them as new to those poor kids at Morris Upchurch Middle School. He made a pretty good lucrative business. That was the beginning of his hustling days. Yeah, you know, we remember those days until the baseball cartels, you know, eventually muscled him out, and then, you know, like most angry teens, he just moved on to getting drunk and stealing county road signs. But, you know, Matt single-handedly jacked up the Queen City insurance premiums about 70%, and he's kind of been on the lam ever since. But, you know, let's put it this way. The only key to the city he's ever getting is the one that gets him to the honeymoon suite in the county jail. But Matt, you know, most of you guys don't know this about Matt. He's a tough guy. He doesn't look it. He's, you know, nice, calm, gentle Matt. But, you know, he grew up on those hardened streets of Texarkana, Texas, where, you know, him and his old roommate Todd, they lived in not quite so savory part of town, you know, full of gunshots and occasional dope deals, gang fights every now and then. You know, that's rough and tough Texarkana for you. But most of it was instigated by Matt, of course. He'd play the local tough guys off each other, get them to take each other out, and then, of course, he'd buy up and short sell all the vacant homes. But, you know, in between his game of dominoes, throwing bones in the street, that's kind of where he got his tagline, I didn't choose a mortgage life, the mortgage life chose me. So that's where he started early on. And lucky me, I got reunited with this bad dude when he founded Pratt Aycock and Associates. He decided to use me as his money launderer in chief. Well, okay, not really, just in case there's any law enforcement. I am just his CPA, that's all we do. He uses other people for his money laundering. But old age has mellowed him out. You know, he seems to have left that thug life behind. He's no longer intimidating anyone unless you're one of his clients, and you know what I'm talking about if you've gotten one of his bills, you know, those hefty invoices. And don't even bother complaining, because you know his response is going to be, well, you know, I thought about it about 10 minutes in the bathroom this morning, and what the hell, am I running a charity here? I mean, come on. This is a business. I got to make some money. Come on. So, well, Matt, I'm damn proud of how far you've come, and I know you're not done yet. You've always had that determined entrepreneurial spirit going back to those baseball card days. But it's really great to see what you've built and to be in a position to work with you myself. You know, I am probably one of the few guys that can say I've known you literally all my life, whatever that's worth. But I do speak for my brother Phil and I when I say that, you know, we shared a lot of good times, some good, some bad. But most importantly, we've been there for each other, and we certainly love you like a brother and would do anything for you. But I won't do that. Congrats on making it to 40, buddy. That's 20 more than I ever thought you would get to. So congratulations. So.
Well, that was a great way to start off with an accountant. Whose idea was that? Michelle, I take back everything I said kind about you earlier. And Matt is a bully, a tough guy? Okay, like to see that. But now, we have someone else to bring up, our next roaster, Mr. J.P. Piccinini. Now, this is something you may not know. It's a new stat. I just pulled it up. The average days on market of the listings of his company are longer than the average days on market of a relationship that he has. So, please. Counsel, please step in. Please give him a round of applause anyway, because you don't want to know what happened to the last guy that didn't. J.P. Piccinini.
Step in my office, Andy. What are y'all doing here tonight? What is it, Saturday night in Frisco? There's nothing else better to do than celebrate Benjamin Button turning 18 years old here. I feel for you. I'm as bad as this guy. You know, I'm going to ad-lib it a little bit here. Shocker. You know, we were all given these scripts, and it sounded, when I got mine back, you know, we had a chance to kind of go in and give our 2 cents and whatnot. I feel your nervousness. It's going to be okay. All right. I do recognize your wife is in the room, so you're okay. You know, we were given the script, and I have it here, and I'm like, this sounds like a legal Zoom answer that Matt gives me when I ask him a legal question. I'm like, screw that. You know, he can't sue me anyway, so I'm going to change it. Not that he would. That would be too much effort for him, so. You know, I would say it's an honor to sit here and roast this guy. And it kind of is, it kind of isn't. I had nothing else better to do tonight. I'm moving. It's Frisco. I wanted to put on a suit. I haven't worn a suit all day, all week. So thank you. Thank you for turning 40. I appreciate you. Let's all give Matt a round of applause. It was past tax season, so what the hell? You know, why not? I met Matt probably about 4 years ago when our company was just getting started, and we couldn't afford a real attorney, so somebody suggested and it worked out real well because I couldn't afford my divorce, so I got Hala, and Hala didn't bill me, so it worked out. It's a win-win situation. That's Chewbacca. That's Chewbacca there. Okay? So, I appreciate you. It's not your roast today, so settle down. Okay? Your day is coming. So, you know, we were sitting here, and I'm like, hey, you know, I'd like to do some business with you, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, we had like 5, 6 agents at the time, so it sounded good. Nobody would take us seriously. We still don't take Matt seriously, so nothing has really changed. But we do have some things in common. I'll admit I'm a little bit of a Star Wars geek like he is. And Matt is a bit of that R2-D2 guy. You know, he comes in when you need him, and you can't understand a damn thing he says when he talks. But he's always helping you out with like some magical tool that he's got, which is like, we're gonna sue him. So, luckily we haven't had to sue anybody, but you know, big badass over here, he kind of carries a big stick. So, it works. That's why we keep him around. Kind of like the picture of Napoleon that he carries in his wallet. You know, do you show that? Does he show little Napoleon to everybody? When I first met him, I was like, this guy definitely has the little man syndrome like Napoleon. Okay? I'm like, that's okay. It's okay. He kisses the ring, doesn't even have to get on his knees. It's good. Let him win every once in a while. Okay? So, you know, we started hanging out, whatever. And of course, I was like, you know, I need somebody to carry my bags, going to New York here and then. And I thought, well, you know, my bags aren't that heavy. It's a backpack. I still need somebody to carry it. So he volunteered to carry my bags. And here we are in New York City, working. Not really know what he did, but he came with me, carried my backpack. I had probably a meeting one night. It was a tax write-off, so. And I'm checking back in my room, and somehow he ends up in my room brushing his teeth. True story. And I have no idea how he got in my room or why he's brushing his teeth in my sink. And I'm just sitting here like, dude, what are you doing? This is a little awkward. And he's like, I'll pay you. Just let me sleep here. I was too cheap to get a hotel room. And you can't help to feel bad for the guy. I mean, it is New York. You know, there's homeless people on the streets. They could probably eat him for breakfast. And I'm sitting over there. I'm like, shit, you know, like, I don't know. I mean, how much money you got? He goes, I got lots of money. I'm like, all right. He pulls out $5 and whatever. What happened that night was none of you guys' business. And we kept him, and, you know, ever since we've had that special bond. He's... I don't know why you're laughing, but it's special. So, about as special as the shoes that he says he gets custom made But in reality, this cheap ass, I know gets them at Target because my son wears the same shoes. They shop in the same section. I think he adds a little bit of like an inch that he sticks on to a little extra, like Napoleon, a little extra height here and there. So, and I want to thank you, by the way, for that cheap chicken breast that we all got tonight. Wouldn't expect any less. By the way, I don't know who's getting billed for the cash bar, for the bar, because it's not free. You're gonna get a bill before the end of the night. All right? Kavish is probably walking around handing you guys a bill right now as we speak. So, I don't know. We could go on and on and on about this guy. Fact is, he's kind of bit of the Iceman. He's there when we all need him, whether we like it or not. He always finds a way to get in, slides in underneath the desk and underneath the chairs and all the doors. Hey, peekaboo. He shows up. So, in the end, hey, we thank you, man. It's been a pleasure. You're an awesome friend, and obviously, we couldn't be here tonight without you. We would have had better things to do, but, thanks for inviting us. We really, really appreciate you, and look forward to another 40, 50 more together, man. Love you. Thanks a lot.
Well played, sir. JP, that was heartwarming. But there were some notes from the news desk. One stat we have to correct. JP, you said that Matt kissed the ring but didn't have to even get on his knees.
He does not.
The second piece is, though, he does anyway. Just want you to know. Trying to warm you up, Mark. Warming you up.
It's a shoe shiny.
It was shoe shining. As for the next roaster, well, usually when I say we're bringing in the goods, Matt expects a girl to jump out of a cake, so no such luck tonight. No such luck tonight. But our next roaster almost didn't stay tonight because there was no Diet Coke in the green room. Well, also there wasn't a green room, but we didn't have any of that either. But he is coming up now. Let's give a big hand for Mr. Prima Donna himself, Austin Good. He already knows who he is.
Ooh, 'cause I got a trick, nigga wanna flip, I ain't got a flip, but I got it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, that was some mix, she gon' wanna sit, every nigga in the set, now she screaming like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Wow. Thank you. What a reception. What a reception, Matt. Oh my God. You're looking pretty good at night, buddy. Pretty good. Not really as good as the women you hire, but pretty good. I mean, you guys think I'm kidding, right? No. I mean, some people, they use Career Builder, they use Monster to build their teams. No, not Matt, no. He sends his recruiters to Twin Peaks. I mean, it's funny because it's true, but unless he's hiring for HR positions, he likes his HR people to be a little bit more conservative. So he sends those recruiters to Hooters instead, actually. Yeah. So, but it's this progressive hiring practice, Matt, that gets all your buddies to hang around the title company whenever they're single. It is. The guys, they're like sharks in the water whenever Matt's growing his team. I was one of them at the time, I just want to say. I won't lie. Which gives me a great new iPhone app ideal for Matt's company. Title Tinder. What do you think, Matt? Should we swipe left or right to that ideal? What do you think? You don't like that one? Okay, but what about Title Grinder? Tuttle knows about that one, just ask him. Yeah. Now, you all know him as a business and legal guru, but what many of you may not realize is that Matt is also a big-time gamer. And for a good couple years, me, Matt, and my brother would log into Xbox 360 and play Halo online at least 2 to 3 nights a week. Remember that? Yeah. This was serious business, y'all. This was intense competition. There was lots and lots of profanity, though, especially Matt. Matt was the worst. Matt would say things like, "You're going down, you little fucker. I own your soul, and I'm gonna piss on your grave." And I'd say, "Yeah, Matt, you tell little 10-year-old Sanjay in India. Show him who's boss." Yeah, I mean, but you know what? Our gamer names are pretty great too. Mine was Mac in the House, which was because I'm a Mac daddy with the ladies, and that's pretty self-explanatory. So, my brother, he went with a more hardcore gamer tag. His was Satan Good Dog. Okay? Yeah, funny enough by itself, but I guess because he wanted to be like the devil, right? He was hardcore like that, right? Well, that would have been a fine and respectable gamer tag in the gaming world, except he's a dumbass and he can't spell worth a shit, so his gamer tag was actually Satin Good Dog. Yeah, like satin sheets, yeah. But the funniest part about this whole story is that he had no fucking clue until Matt and I let him know. Yeah, he really didn't. Thank God this is a roast and not a spelling bee. But if it was a spelling bee, 10-year-old Sanjay would be up here spelling coffee and flipping Matt the bird right now. For sure. I have to say, Matt's gamer tag was the weirdest, though. Munaz Intox, which he claimed to have something to do with mooning us intoxicated. And if he has a few more drinks tonight, that's exactly what might happen. Whitney, you might want to look the other way, and the rest of you consider yourselves warned. I was just joking, Tuttle. Don't get excited. He's not going to show you his ass. Okay? All right. But when we were playing Halo, we also had this 13-year-old with the gamer tag K Quick, who kept trying to join our assault teams after months and months of abuse from us, namely Matt. He kept coming back for more and still wanted to join us time after time. I didn't really get it, but abuse, unfair treatment, and verbal berating, and this kid still wanted to be associated with Matt. Now I finally understand the mentality of his business partners. Sorry, Greg. And honestly, I've got to say I'm proud to be one of those business partners. Matt, you're a hell of a guy. It's been a privilege knowing you these past 7 years. You have a killer sense of humor. You're a great sounding board and always steered me in the right direction whenever I've needed you. You're an all-around badass, and I'm honored to call you a friend. So happy birthday.
That was great. Well, one good turn deserves another. Huh? Nothing? You guys suck. So, if you don't want to hear from their family the rest of the time, tough crowd. I don't blame you. That's why we're just going to get it out of the way. So let's give it up for the man that can keep up an erection just slightly longer than he can keep an employee, Mr. Satin Good Dog, Nick Good.
Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. You can tell everybody.
Well, thanks everyone for coming out tonight. We had nothing else better to do, obviously. Matt hired this writer to come in and help us write this stuff. And I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know anything. He's like, bring up some stories. So basically, I'm supposed to tell you I have no fucking stories and I'm supposed to walk off the stage. So there's no stories. I'm sorry, Matt. But I do need to ask one thing. Are there any single ladies here? Stand up. Yep, stand up, please. Stand up.
Oh, why are you embarrassed?
Stand up.
Why are you
Stand up.
No wonder why you're single.
Stand up. Okay, all right, thank you, all right. JP, did you make note of that?
Got it.
Those are for JP. He asked me, I'm sorry, that's for JP. I'm sorry. We'll go behind the doors.
Yeah.
Meet me at the bar.
Who's getting roasted here?
Well, I mean, easy target.
Just
easy
checking.
target. Yeah. No.
Oh, good. Good.
Now, as for the guy that we're here getting dressed up and getting drunk for tonight, I first met him back in 2009 during Matt's peak, right? And he can't go much higher than that because, let's be honest, you're short. I tried to think of what stories to tell over the past 8 years of this friendship, and I was racking my brain thinking, where do I begin? And there's really no place to begin. Nothing, zip, nada. I could have been friends with imaginary monster. In fact, I am better friends with imaginary friends. So, but a few things that definitely stuck out, all this time is one being a reference to himself as the Magic Man. So we were doing a lot of short sales, and he referenced himself as the Magic Man, right? Because he could convince anybody he could get the deal done with anyone under any circumstance. So, and I have to say he was absolutely right. I mean, once he got this waitress to take back an overcooked burger, and this was at Twin Peaks, so obviously you know that he hired her. I think she's still working. These feats are only the things that a magic man could do. And by magic, I mean creepy. It's fucking creepy, Matt. Really. And the Magic Man is a big baseball fan. Everyone knows that. He once made a point to say, Nick, I don't just follow the Rangers. I'm also a big fan of the Rough Riders. And I said, that's nice, Matt, but I'm not interested in your favorite brand of condoms. Don't let these looks deceive you. I mean, he's not that tall. He's maybe a decent attorney. He's got Holla over there. Holla helps out.
Chewbacca.
But this attorney looks like a high school principal is a wild man. In fact, sorry, Matt. In fact, at a recent party, I won't even say what kind of party it was, Matt got so drunk that somehow these glasses of his that he's wearing right now got lost. But because he's a somewhat decent attorney, he made me sign a non-disclosure agreement, so that's as far as I can take it. All we know is these glasses have been found, and they're safe. So if you want to ask him, please come up afterwards. But despite your questionable hiring practices and inability to consistently entertain me over the past decade, you're a great guy. So I'm only here for the free legal advice that I asked for you, so happy birthday. I'm sure that I'll be calling you on Monday for something else that I got in trouble for. So I love you, man.
Congratulations, Nick. Good job, buddy. For once in your life, you were almost better than your brother at something. I think you're turning a corner. I really do. So I'm pretty sure we're all tired of all the testosterone up here tonight. So let's welcome up the biggest ball buster on this stage, the belle of the ball of tonight's roast, Miss Whitney Buqua.
Looking at the truth, the money never lie. No,
Where's my papers?
I'm the one early morning in the dawn. No, you wanna ride now.
She got a whole thing, or she's not even. She's like, here you go, girl.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys, ask for this paper. I'm probably not really gonna look at it.
You want me to read it for you?
Yeah, that'd be good. I'll sit on it. No, never mind. Okay.
Offer still stands.
So, yeah, thanks, Andy. Well, I never thought that I would be here making fun of Matt in front of all of you lovely people and his face. But we're here, and I guess everyone's looking at me to have all these really juicy stories, and so I guess I can say anything since I've always been your favorite, right? Well, I guess I should start by saying thank you for putting Matt in the big pimp chair next to us, because you can be hard to find sometimes, we know. And he has his big boy shoes on, so we're good. But really though, Matt is a great guy. When we first met, he was doing some consulting for a company I worked for, and we had a mutual friend there, so of course I need to know all the details immediately, and I needed to know what he was like, and all she said was Republican, and that was it. And so I shortly realized after meeting him that he was. And he was kind of like other Republicans we may know that love the Rangers and trip over their words and make people feel awkward. But unlike that guy, Matt will never be president. And that's mostly because he could not get anyone to listen to his speeches. He can barely get 10 people to listen to his radio show. So, sorry, Andy. I know, I don't mean any offense. No, I guess I do, because the show sucks. But anyways, I shouldn't say that. It's not nice, and it's not true either, because Matt really is the smartest guy in the room. And if you don't know or you haven't met him yet, he'll let you know. But Matt, I'm honestly so glad that you are the smartest guy in the room because you've taught me a lot. I owe a lot to you. And you've always been my biggest supporter, so I'm here doing this in front of everyone against my will because I'm a big supporter of you. So happy birthday, happy 40th. Please don't get up when I stop talking because I feel like a drag queen next to you, okay?
Nice. Fantastic. That was good. All right, let's take a big little break from this roasting, shall we? Because we got to honor this guy tonight, at least a little bit. So why don't you join us in a rousing chorus of Happy Birthday. Are you ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Matthew. Happy birthday to you. Thank you, everyone. That is the love that Matt has been craving all his childhood and his adult life, and probably when he's lost his marbles and put in a home. All there for you, buddy. But don't worry, Matt. You've got a few years before that happens. Okay, who's ready for our next roaster? Good. All right, we're going to get this party started again with the magnificent, the incredible. Well, okay, he's not that good. You make your own decision, and please prank call him when you leave a voicemail for Matt. Let's hear it from Mark Sheeran.
Ludacris going in on the verse, cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now. Keep your hands up, get them in the sky for the homies that ain't making it in my post lockdown.
So, I don't understand why people think I'm gonna go off strip like I haven't already. But I mean, shit. Andy, I want to say thank you for this awesome intros. Shit, man, I think Nagasaki and Hiroshima had an easier time, man. Come on. Damn, all right. Nuclear bombs and happened a long time ago. Kidding aside, man, Andy, you're doing a hell of a job, man. You should take your microphone and tape recorders to bars. It looks like everybody's pretty happy with you. Your 4 listeners with your aunt, man, as soon as they get some drinks in them, man, it's fucking, everybody loves it. It's in. And that goes for you too. Nobody wants to hear you talking unless we drinking, okay? Or you're probably paying their paychecks and they act like it. But we're gonna come back to you in a second. Man, what a pathetic group we have assembled up here on stage tonight. Bunch of middle-aged burnouts and a woman who'd rather be anywhere else. Looks like a reunion tailgate at SMU. Man, Whitney, I know you're here tonight for a man who means a lot to you. Me. But seriously, you gotta stop following me around, okay? This thing's gotta stop. You fucking move down the street from me. I mean, now I gotta be careful everywhere I go. I mean, Lucas is a small place. We got a food truck and a Walmart. Okay, so now every time I go in there and try to buy my tidy whities, I gotta be nervous about you standing there being like, try them on, try them on. Shit. I know I'm an amazing guy, but you need to find somebody else to stalk. Like Austin. Austin, you know, the 2 brothers here tonight? Yep, Austin's the pretty one, right? Yeah, you can't miss him. Austin, I love your profile pics, or as I call them, various stages of constipation face. And man, they're perfect, dude. But I gotta tell you, the best thing you ever did is hire that hot girl to star in them. You need to give her a raise. All right? Well, Nick, why are you laughing? Nick, you're one of those rare people who looks like a child and a child molester at the same time. Damn, man. I don't understand. We also have the pleasure of sharing the stage tonight with somebody who lists himself as a Grand Master. And it's not the guy from Texarkana. It's the guy that used to live in Wichita Falls. So that makes me really nervous, but it's not what you think, it's JP. And let me tell you, when they were putting the roast lineup together for tonight, JP's name was at the top of that list. And that list name was Worst Case Scenario. But now it's for the man of the hour. Where do I begin? I first met Matt when I was driving through Dallas on a family vacation, and he needed me to sign and approve some docs before we funded the deal. And I agreed to stop by. He was persistent to have me come to his office, sign him, meet him, all that stuff, or just meet somebody. He was baiting me with the beautiful ladies that he referred to earlier, but we won't talk about that. But I was on vacation. I didn't need a whole production, and just like Matt with women, I just wanted to be in and out in 2 minutes. Well, I show up, and before I could leave, there's this creepy little albino who emerges from whatever cave they keep him in. And he's walking towards me, flashing this pervy smile. And I'm like, geez, I really hope the owner of this place does something, man. He's gonna scare the kids. Holy shit, he was the owner. And I thought, man, seriously, this guy has nothing better to do all day long than sit in his cave and then come out and scare the shit out of some random guy on vacation. And against my better judgment, I befriended this little albino. I think it's our mutual love of the boobies. Matt breastfed till he was 13. I'm just saying.
Makes sense now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Don't you think that would have made him taller?
Yeah, it should have given more value. You still look great, though. I mean, so. All right. Well, I've even been to Matt's new house. That's how close friends we are. And if you ever get the chance to go to Aycock World, I suggest you get the 3-day pass. It includes the whiskey and water slide, 20,000 leagues under the influence, Mr. Aycock's angry ride. That's usually Susie's ride. And my personal favorite, it's a small penis after all.
I knew that joke was coming sometime.
Andy, why were you talking about Nick's erections?
It kind of worked.
Does it? So Matt had to buy that new house because he ran out of closet space, not for his family, but for his own extensive wardrobe. No one spends more on clothes than this guy. I mean, no one. This idiot puts on tailored clothes to take out the garbage. He's put every tailor's kid in Texas through college. Even his shorts are custom made. We were in Mexico and they wouldn't let him in, and he's like, but they're nice. They're nice shorts. We told you pants only, but they're nice. Man, that's a lot of effort to not shop in the children's section. I mean, I've never seen a man care as much about how he looks. And it doesn't make any sense. Since you're over 4 feet tall, you can't see Matt anyways. Jeez, man. I remember one time we were playing golf. It was the only time I've ever been invited to play golf with him and never been invited back. But this little prima donna had shanked his drive and only went about 20 yards. The course was very damp that day, and the course had signs out warning us. Did Matt give a shit? Nope. Matt took one look at the damn signs and drove his car through the mud to hit his golf ball because God forbid that he would get dirty. And as luck would have it for me anyways, that cart got stuck in the slick grass. This was on like hole 9 in front of everybody at the Keller Williams tournament or something, just right in front of everybody after it said, "Do not drive your carts here," and he's like, so then he's like, "Hurry up," and like, I wasn't pushing the cart, not with all the laughing and the filming that I was doing. So they had to resort to Matt standing behind and pushing, which is his normally favorite place. But so imagine, it's slippery as could be, and then all of a sudden, it's just full-on redneck, mudding, wheel spinning, mud flying. The cart leaves with Matt standing there in disbelief in his former pristine white pressed pants and beautiful new white shoes. Matt knew right then that he was going to have to throw away that outfit, well, after 9 more holes of golf and suffering. And the look on his face was like somebody just told him his dog died. And quite honestly, I hadn't seen him that dejected since his last show with Andy. But Matt continued, played well, and had fun, and he finished strong. And all joking aside, no matter what his wife says, Matt does finish strong. Because Matt is a man of honor. If he says it, he will do it. And this means the world, because many people, no matter how smart or talented or with well intentions, all too often choose the easy path or the ill-advised shortcut. Some people will abandon their promises and their integrity as soon as it becomes even slightly difficult. Matt does not. He knows that greatness is earned through each and every decision we make and the attitude that we do it with. He is honorable. And that's why I look at this little pervy man who may start giving out free candy after his 5th scotch, and with every ounce of my heart say, it's a hell of an honor to call you friend. Happy 40th birthday.
Thanks, Mark, I think. That's why we made good golf buddies. I just realized how we both suck together equally. It's great. So, JP, do you need any other drinks? I would hate to inconvenience you anymore in this roast.
Can you give me one real quick?
No, it's not good anymore. Who's left in this motley crew? We got Eric Kinney. So how could I forget? Of course, Eric Kinney. Now, he's from Texarkana, so please be patient with him. Bring him up here. Come and show us what you got. Eric Kinney. Nothing but the truth.
All right. So, he looks nervous. He should be. But I got a certified letter saying I couldn't say anything past about 2009. So, that doesn't leave me with a lot. And since I'm from East Texas, I can't do any racist jokes. Nothing that offends anybody. So I'm pretty much done. I can just go ahead and sit down now. We did have somebody helping us with all the speeches. Filled out a questionnaire. Noah asked you how you knew him, how you met him, stuff like that. I sent it back, and the first thing that he put on there was, "Man, Matt, you sure do look old," or something like that. You know, I said, "No, we got to change that. That's not even close to being right. I mean, because you look like 12 at max. I mean, seriously. You're like a shorter version of Ellen." Yeah, she's way taller than you. You don't like that one?
Have him take the glasses off. I think there's some.
Take the glasses off.
You take the glasses
Let
off.
her.
Shit, that is Ellen.
Dance for it.
Well, see, that's the other deal. He's no dance moves. So that's where that resemblance ends. The other one was a little shorter Justin Bieber, but I didn't want to say that. That's true, but it's Matt. So I was sitting and I was thinking, you know, how do you stay so young? And I couldn't figure it out. So I came up with like two scenarios. Either one, you have a steady diet of pepperoni pizza, or two, you're some kind of necromancer, vampire or something, I'm not sure. Maybe bathe in the blood of virgins, I don't know. I mean, help us out. Total really wants to know. I mean, he needs it. Look at him. I mean, I know I'm ugly, but this dude is fucking ugly. So, all the rest of these guys up here, I didn't meet hardly any of them until last night. JP I met tonight. Whitney I met tonight. Danny, I've actually known Danny for a little while. And I'm glad that since the Enron thing, you're doing a little bit better. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the Good Brothers. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Well, they keep telling me the good-looking one is, that one. The one that I don't want to go to Mexico with. And then the other one looks like like the dude from, what was that movie? Twilight. The guy from Twilight. But he got stung by a bee. Then we got Mark on the end. Can't forget Mark. I don't have anything bad to say about you because I want the invite to the party. So you're a good man. You're a good man. So, I was looking on your website. And there's a lot of stuff listed that y'all do. A lot. I mean, like, way more than should be on there. So I wrote it down, and I'm gonna read it off. So we start off with foreclosure assistance. And stop me if any of this is not on there, but I believe it is. Contract disputes, making enemies disappear, business or property acquisition, oil and gas, slumlord training, estate planning, debt negotiation and collection, yoga and fitness, contract drafting, transmission rebuild and suspension realignment, operating agreements, medical marijuana distribution. I think Danny got into that earlier. But hey, good thing is now it's almost legal. Almost, it's close. There's a gray area. Got family law, domestic partnership, underground fight club hosting, credit law, bar mitzvah, and DJ service. I suggest getting Tuttle to do that. Unless you don't want anybody paying you, because he's really not that great. So, if y'all don't know, Matt is a very big Star Wars fan, and I am also. So, I think my walkout music was supposed to be like the Empire Strikes Back theme or something like that. I'm not sure. I didn't hear it because I'm so damn nervous right now. It was. Oh, it was? Yeah, it was good. Okay, well, that's good, because I peed a little bit on myself. I wasn't really paying attention. That's almost it. There's a note on here that I was supposed to go really hard on something. Thought it was your mom, but she's a very nice lady. I'm not saying anything about her. And Tuttle specifically told me not to say anything about your aunt. He's afraid he's going to lose listenership. So I want to end with a toast. I'm going to need a drink. What you got? Good enough. Backwash.
So, yeah, I got one. Thanks. Yeah.
Careful on that.
Relationship status.
It's alcohol.
Is there anything I should know?
No.
You sure? Good.
You're not going to Bill Cosby me, are you? All right. I mean, because I've heard stories.
You asked me questions.
I've heard stories. These guys are very loose-lipped when they get drinking. So, this is to freedom and the Constitution, whores and prostitution, bulls that keep on bucking, and women that keep on losing the general election. Thank you. San Dimas High Rules.
This is nice. And finally, this evening, we have Gabe Abshire, who somehow traveled to 3 countries in the time that we did this roast tonight. Give it up, Gabe, the floor is yours.
So my guess, man. Every day I'm hustling, 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 every day I'm hustling,
That was really, really nice. All right. Try to close this out strong. This is not in the script. I'd like to first apologize to Mr. and Mrs. Aycock. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were going to be here, so. All right. Tuttle, hey, thanks for that shitty introduction. I mean, that fucking sucked. I would think that all those years that you spent acting at kiddie shows at Six Flags, you would have done better than that. I mean, seriously. Although I am really impressed with you tonight, Tuttle, you know? You've sat there and you've kept that trap of yours closed. It's amazing. Now you know what it feels like to be on your radio show. You always ask us to contribute to the conversations, but you never shut the fuck up. Yes. I guess that's why Matt asked him to MC tonight, so he could be a stage hog and the center of attention as usual. Speaking of the center of attention, my brother from another mother, Mr. J.P. Piccinini. You know, man, don't be looking at my script. I don't like him sitting here at all. So, hey, man, although I am really proud of you for the business you've built in such a short time, 700 plus agents. I learned tonight it's close to 800. Over $1 billion in sales, 12 offices in a numerous amount of states. But I'm not telling y'all anything y'all don't know from JP's shameless promotion that he does on a daily basis on Facebook.
Every day.
Every day. Every day. But JP, you know that JP and Associates, it's in your logo. Your name's in there, right? You know that?
No.
Okay. So there's no need to have this ugly wop Italian mug in every piece of advertising. I mean, you have more glamour shots than Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Don't hate.
All right, Uncle Rico, you like that? It was either Uncle Rico or Deb, but you know, I looked that up, and some of the glamour shots look like JP. Y'all should Google that when you get home. Honestly, you got a little Uncle Rico in you.
Right back at you.
Yep. So hey, so now to the man of the hour that threw his own birthday party.
Don't come.
Matthew Aycock. You know that name's fitting because you can be a cock sometimes. I didn't know when I was asked to be part of this roast that there would be guidelines. I really think that the speechwriter was his compliance officer or something. So that's why I changed my shit all up. But I got calls from Matt. Hey, don't get me in trouble. I don't want to get divorced. Don't embarrass Susie. That's fucking impossible. She wakes up to you every morning.
She left the room, by the way.
Oh, shit, I'm going to have to redo that when she gets back.
Lock her out. We can have really a lot of fun if she's not in the room right now.
Wow. In all seriousness, it was truly an honor to be asked to roast Doogie Howser, MD, tonight on his 40th birthday. I mean, look at this guy. It's like Neil Patrick Harris skipped medical school and started a law firm, but he still shops at fucking Baby Gap. Although the Baby Gap custom department, starting a new branch for him. So Doogie does try to compensate for being short as fuck by surrounding himself by hot women. We all know that. And I realize that it's been mentioned a number of times tonight, but it does bear repeating. Matt, I'm just going to sum it up as simply as I can. No matter how many supermodels you hire, you're still going to be Matt. No one's walking into your office and says, boy, look at that short fucking lawyer in the corner with those glasses on. It's my lucky day. That is never, ever, ever going to happen. Just want to let you know. There is one thing I want to know, though. How is it that you know everyone else's business better than they do? I mean, seriously, is it spy cameras? Is it private investigators? Is it a whole Charlie's Angels thing? Is that what all the hot girls are for? Are they all spies? I mean, you gossip better than a high school girl. Which would make sense because you could be confused for a teenager. I mean, how often do you get ID'd, Doogie? It happens, I'm sure. But I have had the privilege of spending time with Matt. Him and I are sponsors, or should I say charitable donors, to Tuttle Talk. It's the hottest mortgage show on AM radio. Yeah. Between Andy's sizzling mortgage updates and your riveting title talk, I don't know how either one of y'all have ever got a girl to have sex with you, let alone marry you. It's mind-blowing. But it is a good show, and that's why we keep donating to it, on the off chance that our one fan will call me or you or Utility Concierge for help. So I'm glad we have our one fan here. Maybe we can talk every show and maybe make some money up. Yeah, shameless plug. But really, Matt, it's been an honor roasting you. You've been a great friend to have, and friend and maybe someday business partner, if possibly you could ever get Utility Concierge implemented in that shit show of a title business you run. It's been a pleasure getting to know you over the years, and I say that with sincerity. We spent a lot of late nights talking about the entrepreneur journey that we're on, been a great sounding board for each other. And as I can't say you're old as fuck because I turned 40 last year, so the thoughts are fresh on my mind. So I'm sure you're really close to a midlife crisis. I just don't know what it's going to be for you. Is it going to be a convertible? Susie back in there? God, where'd Susie go? How's she missing this? Is it going to be a convertible? Is it going to be a mistress? Is it going to be a 120-inch TV screen so you can play video games with all your super cool gamer friends? Like half these fucking douchebags on the dais. Hey, except you, Austin. We're cool, man. Don't kick my ass. You're a fucking beast. But Nick, y'all are related? Have you looked in a mirror lately? I mean, I don't see it. I don't know. Been a lot of those jokes tonight. Hey, but Matt, turning 40, I'm sure you're going to be spending lots of time questioning your legacy and your purpose and spending long nights and thinking about what's important to you in life. And all I'm going to say is good luck with that shit, my friend. And I hope you figure it out so we all don't have to do this again when you turn 50. So, happy birthday, Doogie.
Thanks, Gabe. Kind of. I don't actually know what that was. I think you run that with the same grace and preparedness and professionalism that you run your company, and I think it shows. It shows. Keeping it open for those other players to get in the market, though. Now, before we let Matt get up here and give it back to everyone and end the night, a reminder, we are here to support children's health. So when you leave, there are some forms at the back when you go outside. And we want to donate and raise money for them as much as we can. I know Matt is passionate about that. So before you leave, if you get a chance, go over there and donate. I think it's at the back tables outside of the room. Okay? Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, last but certainly, positively least, we have the man of the hour, Matt Aycock, the person we've all had some fun with tonight, especially a few of these guys, and the man who's about to give it back to all of us in spades, I hope. Ladies and gentlemen, the birthday boy, our honoree, the one, the only, Mr. Matthew Carl Aycock, Esquire.
I get 10% years like I'm Dan Brazarian. I get 10% years like I'm Dan Brazarian. John Riches, John Riches. Them fucking sick of dub, just sick of dub.
Oh my God, that's an old picture. Wow. Oh. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. Yeah, step stool? Step stool?
They can't see you tonight.
Okay, well, I think we're out of luck, so we'll just go from here. Mom, I do want to apologize for my walkout music and some of the language tonight. I didn't expect any of that. The language is a problem, so it won't happen again. My apologies. So, okay, so had no idea that you guys thought so much of me here. Definitely, I think that we had a good time. So let's get started. Andy, you've done a hell of a job tonight. I'm very impressed. Mostly that you showed up on time for pretty much anything. I mean, even last night, I took these guys out to have steaks at Silver Fox last night to kind of walk through everything. Andy was 45 minutes late. Okay, the guy. Yeah, well, that's Tuttle Talk early. I mean, he has to record his show because if he did it live, it would never air. And also, I do want to appreciate Andy. He helped out tonight. Made contributions and everything to Children's Hospital. We were very happy about that. Because somebody like Andy, he gets anxiety just paying 75 cents for a packet of Tic Tacs. So I mean, this guy is tight. Most impressive is you've managed to host this event successfully despite having a face for radio. Truly a special occasion, and I do really appreciate you, Andy. Thank you for always keeping me upbeat. I really appreciate it. Then my good friend Danny DeLauder. Hell of a set, Danny. Hell of a set. Your new name should be Daniel DeBomber. I've seen funny material watching Humane Society commercials. But I should temper my expectation, folks. He is an accountant after all. They're more used to making people cry than laugh. But for what it's worth, he was the life of the party. Back when we were kids, on our church trips, things of that nature and everything. Then again, that's kind of like saying he was the valedictorian during summer school. But I do want to thank you for keeping me out of jail growing up, and I also want to thank you for helping me pay Uncle Sam the least amount of money I possibly can every single year. Thank you. Thank you for that. Nick and Austin, the Bash brothers, frickin' frack down there. All right. These are the only two real estate agents who feel the need to drive trucks like ranch workers here in Dallas, Texas, okay? These guys, just in case a rodeo breaks out or something, they on a condo showing, who knows, but huge trucks.
Can you get up there in the trucks?
Yeah, I can't. No, I can't. I have Austin lift me up because he's the tough one of the two. So, but either way, so we did have a great time over the years playing as video gamers. We played a lot of Xbox and Halo and stuff, and we had a great time. And I'm kind of upset that neither of you guys invited that 12-year-old kid, K Quick, to join us. The one that you always cussed out every time he killed you. I mean, that was really good. He would have probably done a better job than Andy, emceeing this thing. So, speaking of gaming, it's time we talk about gamer handles. I know earlier, it was made quite clear that, Nick had a problem that he can't spell. He wanted to be Satan, good dog, but he went with Satin, good dog. And it was very embarrassing for him, and it kind of showed through in his gameplay. Terrible gamer, terrible. But I noticed that, obviously Austin picked on him a little bit about it earlier. But Austin's, Mac in the house gamer tag was probably just as bad. What 9-year-old kid tell you that was a good idea, Austin? I mean, it was bad. But we're going to go a little bit further with Austin. And guys, I got to tell you, I don't even have to have anybody write this material for me, to be honest with you, because all I have to do is just say the words, okay? So, and this is true. This is really true, okay? Which one do I click?
That right arrow, my man.
Just the right one?
Ready,
Okay,
right arrow.
all right, okay. So Austin got arrested in Mexico one time. But he got arrested in Mexico because he got in a fight at a discotheque with 2 bouncers because he's hitting on someone who, at least in Mexico, was probably legal, okay? And so they took him to jail, and yeah, okay. Well, so they took him to jail, and so he texts me about it, and he says, hey man, I went to jail in Mexico. I'm like, dude, whatever, there's no way that happened. And he's like, no, seriously. And so he sent me this picture, and you guys will notice he's wearing the Good Home Team T-shirt in this picture. He never takes any moment he has to advertise the Good Home Team. He puts it out there, And unlike his brother, who has his ugly mug on that god-awful car that drives around everywhere, I mean, he went all the way and put it in Mexico. So if you ever see Austin wearing the Good Home Team T-shirt, just stay away. It's probably dangerous because he beat up 2 people and went to jail for it, so it's very bad. He is an international criminal. Speaking of people that like to sport gaudy and ridiculous names, we have Mark Sharon. I go by his house because, he has this white trash party every year. And everybody's invited, by the way, okay? Yeah, it's really fun. So I go by there, and there's cans of beer everywhere in the yard, music playing. There's a car turned over, and people doing all kinds of crazy shit. It was insane. And I walk up, and I say, Mark, it's a hell of a party, man. And he looks at me, and he says, no, the party's actually next week, Matt. We're just hanging out. So it's good times. But I will say thanks to Mark because he really did trick out my son's bike. My oldest son, Christian, he set a bike up for him and just totally really did a good job with it. And he's one of the finest racing men in North Texas. It was quite an honor. But before he was into racing and, screwing people with, his loan sharking, he was actually a song leader at the Church of Christ. Yeah. That's why you're all still recovering from his god-awful voice that you just heard, and it was just really bad. We did have actually one other roaster that was supposed to appear tonight, but, Mark actually ate him backstage, so can't take him anywhere. It was a problem. And then now we're going to go to Whitney, and I'm going to actually put up my favorite picture of Whitney right there. Yeah. So Whitney's a lot of fun. I don't know how you manage to sit up here with all these guys, these animals tonight. And you good? Did you make it through? Okay. All right. Well, I always knew that you were a tough cookie when we went to the pregnancy classes. You and Mike with Susie and me. And we know that Dallas is it's the land of fake boobs, and but I didn't expect you to actually throw one at me, So So for you that don't know, when you go to these pregnancy classes, they do pass around this fake boob. It's really weird, but she threw it at me. It was kind of incredible. No idea what that was about. But I gladly put up with it because you're one of the few people, helped me through these years. You've been really good, and I appreciate it. You also helped me become a better man, by introducing me to gangster rap. Every single time I've been in the car with Whitney, she has that stuff blaring, and it feels like I'm going to be going to a drive-by, and bust a cap in somebody with Whitney Buquois over here. It's insane. But I do appreciate you for all the street cred you've given me. But now the big question. So you're going to finally come back and work for me? Come on. All right, well. Yeah, Mike back there in the back keeps avoiding me here. I'm thinking about having him taken out so I can get her back, But, all right, well, I'm not going to beg. I won't beg. JP. Bane of my existence right here. I actually have a million things I could say about this guy, but he's the only person up here, and only person intelligent enough to hire me as an attorney so that I am prohibited from sharing those things. The attorney-client privilege is guarding him well, and for that, I'm happy for you. But, I will say that the cross-dressing that you like to do every year at the CCR Battle of the Bras event is, pretty good material for all of us. Give you credit for that. Very good credit for that. You know why? Because JP looks great as a woman. Which is good. It's good, because we all know what he looks like as a man. And we have Eric down there. He's the king of useless trivia. This guy could tell you the entire Prussian succession of royalty, but probably couldn't even change a tire. Remember those days in Texarkana? I've personally tried to forget them, but here you are, up here to make sure I remember them. But at least living together was special. To this day, I sit up at night and think, boy, if I could go back to any point in time of my entire life, it would be any point in time but that time that I lived with you. It was horrible. Man, it sucked. Last but not least, we have Gabe. Gabe? Who the hell invited you anyway? So was this a requirement of your EO cult to show up tonight? By the way, EO is an entrepreneurial, organization for people like Gabe who need to have other people tell them they're important. Why does Gabe think he's important? Because he helps people select a cable provider because they're too lazy to do it themselves. I do appreciate you, buddy, and I always love those late night calls we do where we're either drunk or just doing big picture shit or whatever. Who knows what it is? It's irrelevant. It's fun. It does mean a lot to me that everyone showed up tonight, especially these guys up here that came up and got on stage. I know it was probably easier for some of you than others. It was probably too easy for Mark. I'm a little bit disappointed in him, but that's okay. But I do really appreciate everyone coming out. Turning 40 is a big deal to me. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be another good, 40 years, I hope. So we'll see. But I owe a few thank yous. Obviously, I want to thank my wife, Susie. Many of you know her. Some of you don't.
Bless your heart.
You know, I will say that she was very, very intelligent when she married me. She waited until I passed the bar before she actually said I do. It was a requirement. I'd like to thank my mom, and I hope she wasn't, offended too much by you guys up here. I was certainly doing my best to keep my language in check. So I'm glad you came, Mom. Love you. Michelle, I don't know where Michelle's sitting, but Michelle did a great job right there. Great job. So, with all the detailed direction and everything that I give, on a daily basis, it always impresses me when someone actually accomplishes anything. And so Michelle actually pulled all of this together. So I'm really thankful for you, Michelle. Thank you so much. My final words to our charity, which is Children's Hospital. Many of you may not know, but Children's Hospital is a very special hospital to us. At one point in time during our pregnancy with my daughter Meadow, we had a scare. And, fortunately we had Children's Hospital there to make sure that we were comforted and walked through that difficult process, which fortunately for us turned out to be nothing. We were very blessed by that and had a very healthy daughter. But many people don't have that blessing. And what I can say is that this hospital is a great hospital. They do a lot for children. They make them have an opportunity to have a life like we all have the blessing to live. So I want to thank them for allowing us to bring them into this event. And I hope that each of you will help take care of them in the years to come. So. By the way, Whitney, I just realized I've had your picture up this whole time. So I'll go ahead and kick it over to those guys. I was supposed to do that a while back, but either way, I do thank everybody that came tonight. It's the night's not over. You get to hear a great band. This is one of my favorite local bands that plays, Walton Style Band. They're phenomenal. Stay, have some drinks, let's have some fun, and thanks again for coming.
All right, good evening, everybody. How are you doing tonight? Good. Have you had enough to drink? Okay, yeah. Well, drink more. It's going to be a lot better for you if you drink some more. It's going to make this night a lot more enjoyable. So remember the bars back there. And remember, if you guys have your seats, the roast is about to begin. Now, you got to remember, these guys and me, we are not comedians, and only two of us are dicks, naturally. And Mark is one of those, so he will give you enough. Hello. But the meaner we are charged to be mean. We need you.